Hello everyone, welcome to this week's video. It's going to look a little bit different. I'm using one from the archives that I haven't published because let's face it, with this crazy weather that's been happening in southeast Queensland, I haven't had a chance to get out and about. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you stay dry and stay safe. I'm SeAnn Pittman. Welcome to my channel. Thank you to our sponsors, Stardust Cosmetics, who have mineral, vegan, cruelty-free makeup. Today's video, we are making lamb and cumin dumplings from scratch, not out of a packet, can be done. Join me for the rest of the video to see how. All the ingredients out here, so we've got some coriander, some whole cumin seeds. There's about a solid 2 teaspoons in that. We've got a red onion, a few chili flakes, some Szechuan peppercorns. We're only going to use a few of those, but they look cool. And some garlic. First up, we're going to use a dry pan and toast or roast the cumin seeds, the Szechuan peppercorns, and the chili until they've got some really nice flavor. So the idea is to keep this moving. We don't want it to get too hot. You'll start to really smell it. It becomes quite fragrant as it roasts. So if this is your first time cooking this recipe, don't multitask, just stick to one thing at a time. So start by roasting seeds and your spices and then move on to chopping up everything else. Don't try and do them at the same time because you will burn the seeds like I did the first time I made this. You can see here how our cumin seeds are really starting to dark. You can really start to smell the spices starting to come to life. So these guys are almost done. So we're working this through to a nice fine powder. You really smell that as we start to work it through. Just gonna super finely dice the onion. We wanna keep that as small as possible because we don't want actual chunks of onion in our dumplings. We just want that little bit of texture from them and that little bit of flavor coming through. Next up is the coriander. Now that we have our onion, garlic, herbs all sorted. Easy little hack for this is to grab about kind of yay much. We want to keep all of the stems and everything like that with it as well. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to roll it. So you're going to kind of roll it up into a cigar-like deal. And then we're going to fold those in. And then you're going to shave off the end of your cigar. So this is going to give you nicely finely chopped herbs. So now that we've got our coriander chopped up and all of our bits, we're going to add in the mince and combine all of this and then move on to our seasonings. As you can see now that we've added all these ingredients together, that you really can't see enough of that cumin and spice mix. So what we're going to do is basically do the same again of the toasted spices so that we've got more of that flavor. Our extra cumin and spice mix going on, we're going to add in our seasoning. So we've got sugar, Chinese cooking wine. You can pick this up at any supermarket. It's really super cheap, so make sure you have a look at that. We've got dark soy sauce, sesame oil, normal soy. So the dark soy is really just going to give it more color and it's more aesthetic than anything else, but we're putting it in regardless, and some starch. So this is potato starch. You can also use cornflour. It's roughly about a teaspoon, but add little by little, so we really just want it to stick together, not be gluggy. So take that one by eye. If your pan is still hot from toasting the seeds and the spices, then you can add a little ball into the mix, and this just will test your dumpling seasoning mixture. Otherwise, stick it on a little plate, put it in the microwave for about 20 seconds, and same result. The flavor is really good, we just need a little bit more salt. Now it's time to wrap our dumplings. We have our dumpling mixture nicely colored and seasoned. And what we're using are Gao di pastries. So these guys can be bought from Coles or Woolies or most Asian supermarkets. And these are our dumpling wrappers. So let's get wrapping. 30 pieces in this packet. These guys wrap really well when they're cold. You really don't want them when they're warm. They get really soft and gooey and doughy and really not fabulous. So I'm just gonna grab a small chunk and I'm gonna put the rest in the fridge until we need them. So I've got one single dumpling wrapper and we're going to pinch kind of that much, maybe a little bit more. You want a nice full dumpling without being so full that you can't actually close it. So from here, we're gonna grab our pointer finger in some nice warm water, and it's basically gonna act like glue. So we're gonna pull these up. Ooh, maybe I overfilled that. I'm gonna pop these out like that, and then we're gonna fold. So the easiest way I found is if you pinch and then fold. Use a fingernail, or if you don't have a fingernail, well, make it up as you go. But we're gonna fold and pinch, and you're gonna do this about half a dozen times throughout the dumpling wrapper and pinch it together to make sure it all sticks. And then we're gonna flatten off the bottom, so give it a little tap and place it on our tray. So this tray here, once it's full, we can wrap it. We can freeze this tray until it's dry and then take all of the dumplings and put them in one packet like I did earlier. This is a batch of dumplings I made the other day, and once they're all frozen and solid, then you put them together and they don't stick together in the bag and when you cook them. Or you can cook them fresh. So let's get wrapping and let's get to the cooking. Another option is to snap lock bag some mince. So this remaining mince is not going to waste. We are going to snap lock it. This is our pork and cabbage dumpling mixture. Great for parties or impromptu happy hour or just something a little bit different and fun for dinner. So now we're gonna cook our dumplings. So we've got the ready to go ones here, and we've got our nice warm pan over here. So this is on about 2/3 heat, and we want just enough peanut oil. You can also use rice bran oil if peanuts are not your friend, but you want just enough oil to nicely coat the bottom of the pan for when we put on our dumplings. So we want to quickly place them all in the pan so that there's not others that aren't done as well as some. First up, what we're going to do is they're all in the pan and they're all cooking. What we're going to love to do is brown the bottom of them, hence why we have a medium-high pan. Once they're slightly browned on the bottom, we're going to add a good splash of water, and that's actually going to steam our dumplings, which is going to cook all of our mince through. We've added a little bit of water. As you can see, I did not add the full glass, but we've added them, the lid is on, and they're going to steam now for about 3 to 5 minutes so they're fully cooked through. As you can see, our dumplings are coming along nicely. You want to cook them until all the water's evaporated, so we've taken off the lid now that the innards are cooked, and don't force them off the pan. They will actually lift by themselves when they're ready to be pulled off and eaten. Alrighty, so these guys are good to go. As you can see, they're looking quite cooked on the outside and the bottoms are spectacular. So let's get them up. I look forward to seeing you all next week. Thank you so much for joining me on the next one. Mwah. Bye guys. Yum. That is ridiculously good.